Hey guys, you're with DJ Needin, and I want to get your take on a relationship that I have. It developed in sort of an unconventional way, and I'd just like to know kind of what you think of it and if you could ever see yourself in this position, I guess. I have a girlfriend named Claire, and Claire didn't start out being a friend at all. In fact, she started out dating my son's father, and I refer to him that way because that's the role that I focus on. Even mentally, when I refer to my son's father, it's in that way because I want to always remember that that's what's important about his continued presence in our lives, that he is, has always been and will always be my son's father. So instead of maybe thinking of him just as a person, who really frustrates me, or thinking about him as my ex and, tying all of our relationship stuff to it, I just think of him as being my son's father. And it helps me put everything in a better perspective for me. I'm not saying that is going to be a good thing for everybody to do, but it definitely helps me to look at things in their right light. So anyway, Claire started out by dating my son's father, and there were a lot of things that went down over the course of their relationship, which lasted almost 3 years. There was a ton of conflict in the relationship that I have with my son's father, and our whole family situation changed quite a lot, but there were a lot of things that happened between Claire and I because she was really invested in her relationship. She was really invested in my son and the relationship that she had with him. It was really obvious that she cared about him quite a lot and was very involved in his life. And I knew that my son really cared about her too. So, over the course of these almost 3 years, when they were really growing very close to each other, there were also a lot of things happening, on the adult end of things. And I was really, really angry and frustrated with Claire because she would, get involved in the family situation and in the parenting relationship in ways that I didn't think was appropriate, because she was getting information from my son's father, and it wasn't always necessarily good or well-rounded information, and that's all that she had to sort of go on. But then, she and I would communicate through email, and it was just really messy and caused a lot of nasty feelings, definitely on my end of it. I was really angry and resentful of her for a good chunk of time, and I tried not to be, but I definitely gave in to feelings of resentment for her a lot over the course of those 3 years. So when her relationship ended with my son's father, I wasn't, I wouldn't have thought that that would upset me in any way. But when we found out that that relationship had ended, Claire contacted my son and said, I would really like the chance to say goodbye. And there was something about that that really rocked me. And I just sort of it shifted me off of my axis a little bit, because I thought, wait a second, my son has developed a really strong and close relationship with somebody, and I'm going to be okay with that just ending, and this woman who he cares about and has invested a lot in, in their relationship, I'm just okay with that abruptly ending and her walking out of his life, and she just has no value anymore, because she's not in a relationship with his dad. That totally doesn't seem okay either. And the more I thought about it, the more uncomfortable I was that was going to be allowed to happen. So I contacted her and I said, regardless of the adult stuff that's happened here and between you and me, and however we might feel about each other, I know that you and Noah care about each other and love each other a lot. And that's something that I'm willing to continue to facilitate. I'm going to work so that you guys can keep having that way, and in a way that's good for my son. And we sat down and we ended up talking about that, trying to figure out if there was going to be a good way for that to continue to happen. And there definitely has been. You know, Claire and Noah have been able to get together basically once a month. They do something together, and Claire also comes over to our house. She comes out and hangs out and has dinner, and we go over to her place and are totally obnoxious and loud, and and then we leave, and I'm sure she's like, oh, thank God. But you know, over the course of the past couple of years, she's become a very good and close friend of mine too, and I didn't really anticipate that happening, but it has. And it just makes me think, every time that I talk to her, I walk away thinking, I'm so glad, you know, that I was able to get over myself, at least for that, you know, split second, to send her an email and say, this is too important to just walk away. And you know, we witness how important that is for Noah all the time, every time he comes back from having time with Claire. And every time we talk to Claire about the conversations that they've had, it's obvious that this is a connection that was really important to maintain. So I don't know, what do you think? Am I totally insane to have done this, to have tried to make friends with with the enemy? I don't know. Do you think that that's kind of a nutty situation? And would you do that? You know, if you were faced with the same sort of decision, do you think that you would want to reach out your hand to someone that you had real major problems with? Do you think that you would even want to do that? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I would love to hear what you've got to say. And as always, thanks for checking this out. Don't forget to hit subscribe, please, and check me out at all the other places that I am. All right, I'll talk to you again really soon.